Hello everybody and welcome back to FX Street. My name is Akash and today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and discuss what's happening with it right now and discuss the possible outcomes on what's going to happen because of the Fed FOMC meeting. It's going to be a very brief meeting. It's going to be a very brief take on what's going to happen with the Fed FOMC meeting, but it's going to be a deep dive into where Bitcoin is right now and what this means. Last night Bitcoin price dropped quite a bit, so not quite a bit as in a magnitude, but in terms of the level that it broke. So before we get into what's up with Bitcoin, make sure to head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to stay updated to the hottest trends in the crypto market, make sure to also click on the bell icon. You can give us a follow on Twitter at FXSCrypto. And if you enjoy the content that I put out, make sure to give me a follow as well at Mangeko with the 0 at the end. Right, I post my trade ideas and thought process in my Telegram group, which is free for all, and basically give you my take on the markets in my YouTube channel over here. So if you're into that sort of thing, make sure to go and join my Telegram group and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right, but let's get into what's happening with Bitcoin. Right, since May 5th, right, May 5th is when the whole trouble began. Hold up, I think it was June 5th. Was actually, hold up, yep, there it is. Yeah, so May 5th was a weekend, perhaps Friday or Saturday if I remember correctly. All right, so let's check it out. May 5th. Yep, May 5th was Thursday. So 6 and 7 is when Thursday is when there were rumors about Luna and USD kind of depegging, and then I think there was one tweet from Dokwan, and then 6 and 7 there was a massive depeg which caused the price to collapse, right? But like since this drop, right, the price kind of this drop stabilized around May 12th and basically consolidated for quite some time, broke above. So let me just give you a take, right, what's happening, right? Dropped here, set a range high, came back down, set another range. So basically if I were to draw a range, this is how I traded this. If you go back to the videos that I did in May, or like check my Twitter on in May, basically the charts that I had for Bitcoin were basically something like this, right? The price created this range, basically stuck to this range, and then finally we had this move above the range high, right? This move, and was eventually followed by this followed by another collapse, right? What's happening right now is pretty interesting because change this to A. Just give me one sec. Right, so we have this range basically extending from 17,578 to 21,710. So this range and what's happening here is extremely similar to what happened earlier, right? So let me just get this back to 21,710. Right, I hope you guys see it now. Create a range, deviate above the range high, consolidate inside the range again, and then break down. Now, I'm not sure if the price, like I would love for a price to follow the exact same outlook. If it did, it would look something like this, right? Awesome. So that would indicate, like, I'm not saying price is going to go all the way down to 8K, but this is a pretty interesting outlook, right? This is something that could play out. I'm not saying it will. So let's get into, since now that you guys know that there is a fractal formation here, let's get into what's happening with Bitcoin, right? Let me just hide this for now. Cool. So first things first, let's get into the Bitcoin US dollar chart. Not this one. Let's go here. Yep. There you have it. On the one-day time frame, the price had breached the 200-week moving average, right, which is the purple line here, and it tried retesting the 25K level, but it came short. As a result, the price reversed, broke down below the 200-week moving average, which was a basic, which was like an initial trigger or a sign that saying that there is not enough momentum to sustain this upward thrust that we saw basically from July 13th all the way up to July 20th, right? Now, interestingly enough, the price kind of found support around the 30-day moving average, bounced back, attempted to move above the 200-week moving average, failed, and then the price dropped approximately 6% in a single daily candlestick. And now the price is not only, this was yesterday, right? Price did not just close below the 30-day moving average, but it also closed below this initial range that was formed here, basically extending from 17 point, hold up, what is this here? Extending from roughly 17.6K to 21.7K. Now that the price is closed below this, what I'm expecting is on a lower time frame, Bitcoin eventually goes up, retest this, it looks like it's bullish, and then the price during the FOMC meeting, if the as you can see here on July 13th, what happened after the FOMC meeting, the price crashed quite a bit. Now, an interesting thing that happened after the FOMC meeting was basically the price triggered this massive rally. If you look at the video that I did on the Fed thing here, I explained two outlooks, right? The first outlook, I think it's still here. Right, so they're basically two bullish outlooks. I was conservative, right? Because yesterday the price hadn't closed above, below the range high of this particular range. But today the price is closed below that, which confirms that these two bullish outlook are unlikely to play out. So let me just, there must be another one. There it is. Yep. All right, so my bearish outlook was basically if the price did close below the range high, then there would be an attempt to move back above the range high, and a rejection here would basically result in a downswing. Now, the important levels that I'm looking at for Bitcoin is basically this particular box that you see here, extending from 19.2K to 18.6K. Although, like, the reason why I'm looking at this particular area is because there's a lot of liquidity here, because you can see the wicks basically saw there was basically a lot of buying pressure here, which eventually, as you can see, the first time the price came into this zone here, it rallied approximately from the candlestick closest to open 12%. The next time, as you can see, it rallied 21%. So there was a sufficient amount of buying pressure that propelled Bitcoin price here. There is clearly demand in this particular area. But from a higher time frame outlook, if you look at what's happening with Bitcoin, yeah, chart. As you can see here, I've used volume profiles to basically establish that the volume point of control for 2022 basically is hovering around 20.6K. So that will be the next level that we're going to be taking a very close look at. And if you look at this previous chart, the chart that I showed yesterday, basically. Yeah, in this chart, I basically spoke about two important levels that I've hidden. Let me just bring them back. Nope. Nope. It was basically, okay, never mind. I'll just redo it again. So basically the lines that I drew basically extended, this box is what represented those lines, right? Extending from 20.6K to roughly 19,687 or 65. This box is what's going to stop Bitcoin. Like if Bitcoin price is bullish, right? And the bulls are actually trying to take control. And if there is basically momentum here, or like there's a lot of buying activity, there's a lot of demand here, this is where it should reverse, right? This particular zone extending from 20.6K to $19,000. But if we get a daily, perhaps even a weekly candlestick close below this level, it's basically goodbye, right? As you can see here, the volume point of control for December, basically 2020, right, is pretty thin all the way up to 12K. So once we get a breakdown of 19K, which is the only level where there was a decent amount of buying, basically because the price kind of stayed in this particular zone for 1 to 3 weeks. So in a way, if we break this, there's no going back. You can expect another crash like this. These two candles that you see here, basically in the first week of June and the second week of June, whatever transpired between the first 2 weeks of June is gonna happen again, in which case you can expect Bitcoin price to probably crash down to 13K, right? I feel like 11.2, 12K would be the best macro bottom for Bitcoin, but there is a chance Bitcoin price could prematurely kind of, like, there could be a chance where Bitcoin price could wick all the way down to 12K, but the bodies could close above 13.5K or 6K. Right, that's basically my entire outlook for Bitcoin. Uh, but the only thing that you have to kind of pay attention to is what's happening on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, just a sec. Yep, this is a 4-hour 200 simple moving average. The price is kind of getting supported right now by this moving average, right? So as long as this holds, you can expect some what of a, hold up, this is not the chart. Yeah, so you can expect a retracement back to this level here at, what is this, 21.6K, right? So the only thing that's left here is to look at what's happening on a micro time frame. Okay, things are looking pretty good here for Bitcoin. The price did sweep below this low here, initial low, collected liquidity. Now it looks like there's a triple tap setup, a potential triple tap setup formation in play. But as you can see, there's been a lot of selling pressure taking place in this particular area. So if I were to probably draw a range, it would perhaps look something like this, right? Looks pretty interesting. Again, there is a chance for Bitcoin price to go all the way up to 21.5K. But my original level that I just mentioned right now is 21.6K. So 21.5K to 21.6K seems plausible level, mainly not just from a daily time frame perspective, where you can see that there were a lot of candlestick bodies formed around here, right? In the 4-hour time frame, you can see there's not just the range high here at 21.7K, but also these two candlestick bodies will provide a decent amount of resistance. So expect a 20. So what do you expect in the next few days? Basically, a minor run up to 21.5K, perhaps 21.6K. This is the conclusion. Like 21.6K to 21.5K is where you can expect Bitcoin price to rally, try to overcome the 21.7K resistance level. A rejection there, then you can expect a swift, okay, there it is, a swift move down to $20,000, which is the initial support. Beyond that, we have the midpoint of this range at 19.6K, and then the lower limit of this support level at 19,065. Once we break down 1965 on a daily time frame and a confirmation arrives on a weekly time frame, you can expect Bitcoin price to head all the way down to 13K, perhaps even 12K. So that is it, folks. If you enjoyed this session, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any doubts, make sure to comment on any of my Twitter posts or DM me, basically. Yep. Have a great day.